Hi Virgo, hope you guys are doing great today. Let's get right into your general messages for the beginning of September. Let's just start throwing some cards down. Right now, can you believe? Beginning of September. Back to school, back to school, back to school. I'm not complaining. I miss my students. College online is lame. It's terrible. You have to become a cartoon character to get the students to pay attention, for goodness sake. Okay, get into this. All right, guys, remember these are general messages. Take what resonates, throw out the rest. Certainly don't try to make it fit. If it's not your reading, it's not your reading. You always want to check your sun sign, rising sign, moon sign, and Venus sign for the fullest message. My name is Jackie. For those of you who are new, let's get right into things. We have a couple nice things happening on the 6th. We do have that new moon that's happening in Virgo with the Sun and Mars in your first house of self, Virgo. It's all about you, this new moon. Now, stuff that started rolling out, situations that started rolling out like the 2nd into the 3rd week of August, definitely going to be highlighted. There's going to be a lot of culmination. It's going to be rolling out this month, the rest of the month. First house itself could have to do with anything. And it's trining Uranus and Taurus in your 9th house. And that 9th house is to do, it has to do with travel and your personal philosophy. It has to do with higher education. It has to do with law. It has to do with religion. But it's your belief system, right? It's your ethics. So to have this beautiful trine, there's going to be some sort of shakeup, right? When we have this this new moon in Virgo with the Sun, with Mars trining Uranus, we're not only open to new, we're all also embracing change, and we're all working to elevate our experience, especially in the houses that this energy is focusing on. So for you, it's that first house of self, your appearances, how you begin things, your body, your first impressions, your attitude, your identity, your approach to life. And to have this trining your 9th house of your belief system, you're doing this sort of fundamental shift in how you're approaching your life. Now, the only little tricky part is it is going to be in conjunct with your 2nd house, which is where Mercury on the 6th is going to be in pre-shadow. It's going to be going retrograde on the 27th, but the 6th starts to pre-shadow with Venus in Libra in that 2nd house of money, work, income, your daily routines, your values, your possessions, your habits, your work ethic. So this could look something like there is this tension between your belief system and the money that you make. Are you being paid enough? Your belief system and how well you feel in a relationship. Do you like how you feel? Do you like the version of yourself that shows up in that relationship, in that job? Is it in alignment with your belief system? So these are some of the questions that you're going to be asking and answering. We're starting out with the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, personification of fire. So as an influence, this is really good news about any project that requires negotiation. First of all, super busy time, right? Because it's fire. Very busy time at work. This could also bring in an offer of some sort. So when I say an offer, it could be either a job, a relationship, the sale of a home, the offer on a project, whatever it is. If there's new offer coming in, may not be, though, everything that you would ultimately like, because remember, it's a page after all, and page is the youngin of the court, right? So it's immature. It hasn't been cultivated yet. So you could be literally dealing with somebody who's immature, or like a situation that's not quite what it is that you want, but it's still going to appeal to you in theory. That person in the relationship, or that position, or that offer, whatever it is, right? But this is about you expressing yourself as well. But whatever it is, like something is sort of like not ideally what you would want, and I feel like even though there's good communication coming in, I want to let's address the positive here. It's Jupiter and Leo. And this is about deserved success, great energy if you've been struggling. This is you getting acknowledgement at work. In relationships, this is feelings being shared, well received, really good communication coming in. That ends up more specifically leading to a deepening of connection. So in general, this is really good news, but there's something about what's going on here for you that's creating a lot of anxiety for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, just thinking about your moon placement, for this particular week, from September 1st, September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, the moon is going to be in Cancer in your 11th house of hopes, wishes in the future. Then on the 4th and 5th is going to be in your 12th house of the subconscious, of what's hidden underneath your hood, right? And it's going to be looking at things and it's a Leo energy. So the moon's going to be in Leo, which is fire, which is you're going to be looking at your emotions and how you feel about either a relationship, because Leo is about falling in love, love affairs, and romance, that, something going on with your children or the idea of children, that, or some sort of creative project. And I feel like this is where the anxiety is going to come in. As it does seem like out in the 3D, this stuff's going to be going on. But you're going to be feeling a lot of anxiety here. And this energy is sort of going to be ushering you in to the new moon energy that's happening on the 6th and 7th here, having to do with this week in you. So there's going to be a lot of focus there, right? We get the sun, we get the moon, we have Mars is that warrior energy. In Virgo, you guys are all about problem solving, right? And being very critical with something. So it's like this offer comes in, everything seems okay, but you're being very sort of like identifying what's like not okay with the whole thing. And it could have to do with some of you maybe in the space where you're like, you know what, I'm realizing I need a new job. I want to get a new job. Some of you are getting a new job. This has to do with the new path that you're going to be going on. In essence, like as an influence, this is about progress, right? And very auspicious beginnings regarding money, regarding business, or even an offer made on a property for those of you who are in that space. Learning something new, excellent for that. Again, it's a page, so it's new, it's young, right? This could have to do with a mental, physical, or emotional connection, whatever it is, but you have to pay attention to your finances in this energy. It's a very hardworking energy, very reliable, strong potential for success, but not there yet. And that might freak you out a little bit, right? That might freak you out a little bit. You definitely have a lot of passion to move on in a particular path, but you're feeling a lot of anxiety. You might be worried about your money. Do you know what I mean? So we have the Lover's energy. So Lover's energy, for those of you resonating with this, is career. Let's just stick with that for a second. This is about choices. And one option might seem easier, right? But you have to look at it closer, right? The situation, look closer. And you have to figure out what is the best thing for you in the long run, right? In the long run. You have to think big picture. Don't do something just because of money, if this has to do with like a money or investment kind of thing, right? Think big picture here. If this has to do with relationship, this could be, okay, so in relationship, it could be that you're having this connection, but you may feel either that somebody is rather immature in the relationship, or that the relationship is sort of young, and you're feeling kind of stressed out about it. The Lover's energy, though, is like, all right, let's talk about it. We have differences. There's stuff here, but let's figure out the clouds together. Because then we have Archangel Raphael to bless us. We have the luminary of the sun to put all the tools in our toolbox that we need to fix the situation, but we all have to be on the same page. Can't be a one-sided kind of thing going on. So we have this deepening of communication coming in, and more specifically about what's needed to feel very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure in a situation, whether it's about a job, an intimate situation, a friendship, family situation, it doesn't matter. We're dealing with the Queen of Cups, we're dealing with Gemini and Cancer energy and astrology, which is about communication, about a strong foundation. Now, obviously, this could be literally a conversation about a home, having a conversation about the family, having a conversation about how somebody feels. There might be an issue going on that needs to be discussed, having to do with mother, having to do with children, something like that, literally. But I feel like, and we have two queens here, so yes, I mean, this is you just stepping very much into your power here. Ideas are going to be popping in. You're going to have the strength and the know-how to deal with something. You're going to be able to make things happen. This is a very energized energy. So I feel like whatever conversation that is very direct, that I mentioned before, you're going to be very sort of focused, right? Because this is a Pisces and Aries energy. The the Queen of Wands. For Pisces and Aries, right? That dream, new path, right? Aries is fresh path, new perspective. Aries is the Emperor energy, right? So really is about putting you in that space, this new space, but there's conflict. There's some sort of conflict. It's a minor arcana. It's not a big deal. Sometimes we need the 5. Sometimes we need conflict, right? Saturn and Leo. You're standing up for yourself. You know, battle of the wills, lack of agreement, strong opinions, fighting to be heard. Everybody's yelling, nobody's hearing. You know what I mean? Sometimes it goes like that. And then there's this lack of agreement, okay, Virgo? So this could have to do with work. This could have to do with a business partnership. This could have to do with an intimate partnership or a family situation. But this 4 of Cups energy is very restless. And it's the moon in Cancer. And whenever the moon rules Cancer, right? So what does that mean? It's like your emotions in this space of disappointment and disillusionment and almost feeling like this emotional crisis where if you're in a relationship, you might be feeling restless, bored, apathetic, disillusioned. You know, am I ever going to be happy in a relationship? Some of you can be in that space. I'm not going to be happy with them because they do this, this, and this, and that, and that. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, all of that might be true, but you want to make sure that you're also looking at your stuff in the relationship. Just saying, could be that. If this has to do with a work situation, well, even if this has to do with a relationship, if you guys have been a couple and you've been together a long time, the 4 of Cups could just be like, you guys need some spice. A little, you know what I mean? You don't need me to tell you that. You need a little spice. Some of you need that, a little something, something. If this has to do with a job, though, you might just be feeling like very bored, very underwhelmed. And you're very underwhelmed. That's being clarified by the Page of Wands. I like this personification of air. So some sort of useful information comes in, and you're going to be getting help from people around you to further your ambitions. So this can manifest for some of you as a contract coming your way regarding a job or any kind of agreement, anything like that. If this has to do with a relationship, this could actually be an internal epiphany, right? Where you're relying on your intelligence, you're trusting your own mind, right? You're trusting your own mind where you're like, okay, I have to stay very logical in this situation. You saying, I need to, right? Sticking with the relationship thing. I need to get away from anything that's toxic. Remember, the Chariot energy in numerology is the Tower. And the Tower is about a necessary surrender. And it's about recognizing if you keep doing what you did, you're going to keep getting what you got. So it's time to step away from the toxicity and go toward your metaphorical home space. Because in astrology, the Chariot energy is Cancer, which is about taking care of yourself. It's about self-care. It's about your emotions. It also has to do with your foundation and what you need to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. So you're going to be moving. You're going to be like doing a beeline to get the hell away from anything that's toxic. You're like, no, whatever's not working, I can't even have that in my jam right now. I just can't have it. Because you're going to be feeling this inconjunct between your belief system and, again, having to do with that day-to-day, the habits, your job, your money, your work. There's going to be this unavoidable, something needs addressing, having to do with the money that you make and your belief system. Having to do with your belief system and how you feel about being in a relationship. This is not the kind of energy that you could just think away, let me go to sleep early tonight, ignore the situation for a couple of days, and then everything will be fine in a couple of days. It's not that you guys do that. I don't even think you're not designed to do that, Virgo. I'm just saying, I don't know what else is in your chart, right? You might have some Libra in there, doing some heavy work where it's easier to sort of procrastinate something out, right? With an energy like that influencing you. But you're not really, you know what I mean? Like you're just going to be like, I want to get away from that. I want no. Ace of Cups is like that love and key emotional event. So for some of you, this is a new job, a new relationship. This is a pregnancy. This is prioritizing parenting. This is being in something and sort of finding each other again where there's very strong love and support. This could indicate, for those of you resonating with it, as a relationship. If you're single, this is spiritual growth, a very creative time, something that matters a lot to you coming to fruition. So beautiful for those of you who are looking to launch something, looking to manifest something in that way. So there's a real kind of like good with some challenges mixed in here in this general message. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to move into relationship now. Those of you. Okay. I am trying to make my videos a little shorter. I'm hearing you guys. A lot of people complain my videos are too long, so I'm trying to keep them. I know sometimes I feel like, you know, if I don't pull qualifiers, I feel like I'm leaving people hanging, and then I feel like I'm not doing my job as, you know, as somebody who's here to shine some light, you know, whatever. Okay, let's get into relationship. Virgo friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Chariot. Different deck, different spread. Chariot up again. What's the challenge? High Priestess. Ooh. Okay. Well, Virgo, it does look like somebody wants to balance something out with you. We have the Eight of Wands coming into this energy. I like this, right? This is a Mercury and Sagittarius energy. This is good news, great news, having to do with relationship, especially if you guys have been separated, if you've been feeling like held back, if you've been waiting for a decision within the relationship, right? Maybe it's not about the relationship. Maybe you guys have been waiting to hear, did somebody get a job, or did you guys get that house, or, you know, a million different things that we could be waiting on in a relationship. But Eight of Wands is in the past, but it impacting the relationship obviously wouldn't have shown up in the spread, right? But very mental energy, though. Mental energy, a lot of communication about the future. The Sagittarius is a very future thinking energy. It's about sharing belief systems and being able to move forward with integrity. So it's the choice of leaving the toxic nonsense behind and going towards that metaphorical home space. Again, that necessary surrender and having the resolve that things have to be done differently. They just have to be done differently. Some of you are going to be in the space of actually leaving a situation altogether. Others of you are going to be saying, look, if we're going to work this out, the only way that we're going to be able to work this out is by, with great intention, getting away from the toxicity. But you might be really blocked right now. You might have very clouded insight because this is a challenge. There also might be secrets that are going on that need to come out here, Virgo. You know, either you to them, them to you. You might be, I feel like you would be vibing it if you feel like it's from them. The basis of this situation is the Empress, right? She's a straight up Venus, so obviously it has to do with love, this has to do with money, it has to do with how you feel about being in something. And remember, this Venus energy is in your second house, right? Which is Taurus's home. Venus is very comfortable in that second house because Venus rules the second and the seventh house. In there with Libra, you got a lot of Venus energy hanging out in that second house. So how you feel about your children, how you feel about growing in a relationship, how you feel about growth in general, buying that house, getting married, moving forward in the relationship. There's a lot of conversation that's going on here. And then we have right now the current situation that we have is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is about being a free spirit, you wanting to really express your ideas, go after what you want, but you really want to make sure that you don't allow the idea of perfectionism to get in the way. Either you feeling like you need to be more perfect or they feel like they need to be more perfect, Virgo. This could be the kind of situation where you feel like they expect more from you, or they feel like you expect more from them. You know, I know personally I work with a lot of people who deal with Virgo partners, and Virgo's not like the Virgo gets a bad rap, and we talk about that a lot on here. Because you guys are very exacting and you are very critical and everything has to be in a certain space. And I empathize with you, right? I mean, I have that energy in my fourth house. So I'm very like, So we all have it somewhere, right? So we're very exacting, and we can't not see things, though. That's the thing. So it's not that you're being judgmental and critical so much as you're just responding to what your eyes are seeing and what your senses are experiencing, and you can't, how do you put that away, right? I mean, how do you do that, right? But there is this idea, though, where if you really want something to grow, you want to recognize that nothing is perfect. And it's in accepting that's where the gift is going to come. But I feel like that right there is where the challenge is going to be, because we do have Spirit wanting you to look at, somebody else got this, I feel like, in another reading, I don't remember which sign, but needing to look at the heartbreak, look at, in the connection, where is the heartbreak been? Where is the pain of the truth, any truth, been an issue? Where have you or this person that you're dealing with dealt with betrayal? Maybe the betrayal was in a past relationship, and so there are trust issues in this one. Is someone in this connection struggling with depression? Whatever it is, that has to have a light shown on it. Because that's what this energy is. It's about the lights coming on, confusion being gone, and you being in a position where you're going to be able to move on from whatever discomfort, whatever pain, shock, whatever it is, so that something can be healed. Now, the energy external to you is the Lovers, which is all about trying to balance something. It's about choice, first and foremost, but it's about, what choice? Well, I want to work this out, but we need to work at it together. But I feel like, Virgo, you're feeling kind of betrayed about something. And the reality of something is really not very easy for you to get past. But you're having a hard time processing. I just feel like this because the Nine of Pentacles is showing up as your challenge. So for the Nine of Pentacles to show up as your challenge, I feel like a lot of you might be throwing yourselves into work instead of looking at the situation that needs dealing with. Does that make sense? Because that's what I'm feeling. It's like, okay, I would rather work 27 hours a day instead of dealing with this. Do you feel like some of you, near future, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Mercury in you, family, deepening of commitment, maturity, shared values, property, sharing. So in the near future, lots of conversation about that going on. But in the final outcome, we have the Knight of Swords. This is a tricky energy because it's expect the unexpected. Unpredictable roller coaster energy, highs and lows, sudden truths coming out, underlying conflicts being exposed. It's like, well, let me tell you how I really feel. Now, for some of you, this could be a relief. And others of you, you're going to be like, I have no idea what to do with this information that's coming out. Wait for things to settle. Don't make any big sweeping decisions right now, this week. But a lot of people are having these huge epiphanies, these huge aha moments. That is Uranus, honestly, in Taurus, Taurus is the landlord of that second house of our sense of self, what matters to us, our values. Shocking, right? It's sort of, and I know that sounds very dramatic, but I think the shift kind of started in August already. It's going to be rolling out the rest of September. But that's what I'm feeling there. Let me just pull more energies to give you more. Knight of Wands. Stepping into your power. We have the Judgment energy, assessing the relationship, shifting into a new phase, trying to get past something, reconciling certain issues that need reconciling. For some of you, this is an energy of reconciliation, but whatever it is, it's going to bring with it a good lesson. And I like this. This is completion and the success of learning a lesson. So now you can have happiness. Now the relationship can be fulfilling and loving. So the lessons learned. But yeah, we have the Seven of Cups. It's clarifying that, which is about choices and confusions. confusions. Listen to me. Confusion and commitment issues. You're just not sure what's real, what's what. What do you really want? I'm not sure what to trust. Things feel up in the air. And you could feel yourself at the beginning stages of something being clarified by that Page of Pentacles, which does indicate a new phase of needing to work really hard on this. Right? Needing to work really hard, but at the same time, you're in a mode of protecting yourself. You might be protecting your money, because this has to do with, like, she's holding on to her purse, right? So that she's got enough resources for later. So if you're dealing with somebody where there's a high level of presumption about your finances, or you about them about you, whatever it is, that's got to be addressed. Others of you, if it has nothing to do with money, this is you protecting your heart. She's also holding that in front of her heart. It's like, nope, you can't come in. I'm protecting myself. And that's being clarified by the wheel. That's not going to be able to last, right? Whatever's going on here. Because the wheel means there's a turning point, right? And in numerology, this is the Magician and the Sun. So there's going to be a lot of focus on this turning point, the need for very healthy communication in order to problem solve. You know that, right? I mean, some of you might be dealing with, you might be turning to somebody or somebody from the past that magically reappears. This could be destiny at work. Some of you may be like, oh boy, this person came back from the past and I don't know what to do. For some of you, you're going to be in that space. We're in this mode of self-protection. You're turning to somebody from your past. Others of you, you're realizing you have to sort of address issues from the past in order to be able to move forward in the relationship. Some of you are going to be in the space of having the emotional intelligence to recognize that something doesn't feel right anymore and it's time to move on. Sadness, but not regret. And you may have even left the situation emotionally already, but it is time to work on yourself. Coming back down to this Three of Swords also, maybe some of you are, Virgo, healing from some sort of operation as well. And I'm only saying, well, besides the fact that the Three of Swords does also mean that, with all of this energy, the new moon, Mars, like Mars in that first house itself, that could do a number like on one's body. So you might like be healing from some sort of procedure or something like that as well. But anyway, nonetheless, still needing to balance a particular situation and still needing to look at all of these things. But it does look like with the Eight of Cups, this walking away, death and rebirth. Yeah. Emotionally working on yourself and something needing to end in order for, you know, maybe it'll work out at a later date. But death and rebirth means exactly that. Like something needs to die as it is if it's going to be rebirthed in a different way. It's almost like the relationship needs a little bit of breathing room right now in order to actually do some work. And that could be very scary, of course, because especially if you don't want to be on a break with somebody, but it does mean that either the relationship is over for some of you and now it's time for you to just go and transform your life. Others of you, if the relationship has good bones, and you're going to know if it does, or if you're trying to fit a circle in a square, you're going to know if you're trying to do that, if you're honest with yourself. Things can pick up in a different way later on, but you might need some space right now. Let me just pull one more. Two of Wands, yeah. Mars and Aries, moving forward, partnership. Some of you might even be meeting a new romantic partner through work or friends. So that's what I'm getting from my Virgo friends. You know, some of you may not like that, but that is what I'm seeing here. Let me say, I can't slip a Cinderella slipper on some of the messages, right? Let's go right into those of you in separation. So some of you may be sticking around for this one. Okay. I want you to see the real me now. I've been hiding from our love for too long. Now this could be you towards them towards you, you guys towards each other. It doesn't really matter. I have to be in contact with you again. I miss you too much. You know, Virgo, is anybody dealing with like a Leo? Because I feel like a lot of the same cards came out for them, and I shuffled 6 times before even turning the camera on. I'm coming to you with an offer. Will you say yes? When I offer you my hand, will you take it? What? Okay, one more. My heart always comes back to you even when I don't want it to. Well, isn't that just the kicker of it all? We think we've all been there every now and then, right? Okay. My heart always comes back to you even when I don't want it to. All right, let's pull some Valentine Wellness clarifiers. And then I'll pull some of my homemade tarot. Oh, somebody just doesn't even want to deal. Okay. Seriously, if any of you are dealing with a Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, go watch the Leo video right now. I'm pretty sure. In separation, check the timestamp in the description box below, so if you don't feel like going through the whole video. All right, so I want you to see the real me now. I've been hiding from our love for too long is being clarified by not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, a call, person, boundaries, still angry. Being apart has been life-changing for me. I'm not even kidding. I actually think they even came out almost in this order. That is so funny. All right. I have to be in contact with you again. I miss you too much. I don't think they got camera. Reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learning from the past. Clarifying that. Okay, so as they're reminiscing, you make me feel a kind of anxiety I have never known, yet desired in a way I have never known. Well, welcome to a karmic relationship. Soulmate 101, lesson number 1. You will feel anxious in weird ways, yet satisfied in very satisfying ways, right? It's like so difficult. I'm coming to you with an offer. Will you say yes when I offer you my hand? Okay, cassette. Outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in the head. So somebody's definitely in a space of rumination, thinking about starting over, but for real this time. My heart always comes back to you even when I don't want it to. There is an addiction that's kind of hanging in this energy. Guys, this does not have to be to a substance. This could be any sort of imbalance. It's codependency, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint. We're talking about having a block. It could be about any kind of addiction, any kind of egotism, any kind of challenge in regulating personality, anything that we could think about the devil energy, anything that could be shackling, right? I can't be with you. I see too much of myself in you and I don't like myself. Ooh, what? So this is the classic, I know I'm not supposed to want to be with you, but I can't help it. But I feel like that is such a surface interpretation of the 6 of Swords, moving away from the toxicity, moving on, detaching, at least taking a break. Still minor arcana, allowing some space to do some internal work. Either you, them, maybe a little bit of both of you. Look what came out. The devil. Yeah. So there's got to be some sort of balance adopted here. And again, if it doesn't have to do with dealing with the addiction, it could just be like, fairness, or somebody's got to stop projecting. Somebody's got to stop deflecting. If there's gaslighting going on, that's got to stop. People can do that in very innocent and mild ways, all the way up to like horrible, right? So, but the balance is key in order to work in this out, because it does seem like the emotions are here, but this is the problem right here, is this imbalance here. This toxicity, this little triangle of toxicity here. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.